What is up everyone, Barricade here, and I'm bringing you guys another episode of Gears of War lore. Today we're going to be talking about part 4 of the Barren series. Last time we saw Marcus get completely laid out by the Mauler, and he's laying there helpless. Now he's surrounded by all the locusts, but we actually get to see a quick little brief moment before that when we saw that the locusts are actually pretty damn smart and started the ambush. What we see is the locusts were approaching the bunker and they were going to attack the young child, but the Cantus, the leader of the group, stopped them and told them, basically said, no, let's do an ambush. And what they did is they threw a rock to let the kid know they were there. The kid got scared, ran into the front area where the bunker was, and they used that as a way to distract and ambush Marcus. Now they basically have a hostage in front of the bunker, while the rest of Delta Squad runs to the bunker with the women and children. And we see that they're trying their best to save Marcus, but the women close the door on them and leave Marcus stranded. Dom starts freaking out because, well, it's basically his brother that's out there about to die, and they have to calm him down, stating that, you know, the women and children are a priority. We can't, you know, just try to save Marcus and cause everyone to die. It's just not the smart thing to do. And the one thing that they never really established in the games, but I thought was quite interesting that they established in this comic book, is that they pretty much said that even though rank isn't the thing here, seeing as Dom has more tenure than Baird and Alex is a sergeant, they decide that Baird is actually the second in command here based off the fact that he's really intelligent and knows how to fight the Locust better. And the thing that's quite interesting here is Baird actually makes a strategy to take on the Locust and save Marcus at the same time. Long story short, they're going to open the bunker, let the Locusts in, blow them up with planted nades, and flank them to get to Marcus. So while they're planning this and everything, we see that Marcus is out there laying flat on the ground and saying to leave him behind because it seems completely hopeless. The one thing I want to establish is at this point you have to remember that the little kid that Marcus tried to save is nowhere to be found, most likely killed by the Locusts. The kid never made it to the bunker. So that's just one thing I really want to say. Now we cut back to Baird, and he's just thinking up strategies, and the thing I really like about it here is that he's sitting there and thinking what a Cantus would do. What would I do if I was a Cantus? What would I do if I was a Theron? You know, just thinking about it, and he comes to really good conclusions, which is quite interesting. He knows that if it's a Cantus, that they have a huge numerical advantage, as Baird says, because of the fact that the Cantus can call more drones, that there's most likely one Mauler, and that they're going to be most likely anywhere they go because they're going to have the advantage in the skies with the Reavers and things like that. So Baird thinks very much ahead, so I can see why they would have Baird in second in command, because he is a genius, so it makes sense. Not that, you know, there's nothing to take away from Dom and Cole and even Jace, it's just it makes sense to put the smartest guy as the strategist. So while they're thinking of the strategy here, Baird actually has the women and children escape through the tunnels that they have inside the bunker. They're basically evac tunnels. So while they're escaping, they're planning their assault with the planted nades and everything that Baird stated. So as they're doing this, the Mauler finally makes its move. It starts breaking down the door, and while they're doing this, Baird does something that's kind of weird. I'm not too sure why he did this. I think this might be like kind of a distraction idea is what I'm thinking. He actually records the young children crying while they're making their way to the tunnels. They say things like, "Mom, Mom, make it stop," and stuff like that. So he actually records it and puts it on loop in full volume, so all they can hear is "Wow, mama, mommy, mommy," and all this shit, and it's super loud. So I'm thinking the reason why he did this is probably to distract the Locusts and also prevent the Cantus from being able to make commands. And that's the one thing that just makes sense to me, that he would put this on repeat in full volume to distract and disrupt the Locusts. And while they're doing that, they actually do make their ways through another tunnel and escape on the outside to make their flank. You can see the Cantus doing the weird strange thing that it's always been able to do, which is call its command to heal its drones. I always wondered how that even works. I wish they would explain that. I always theorized it was something to do with emulsion. I don't know if that makes sense, but or maybe they're just magical. It's hard to say. The Mauler and the drones finally make their way into the bunker, only to be blown up by the nades that were planted. Great distraction and killed a lot of the Locusts. At this point, they make their assault and start shooting them from the flank. We can see that they're taking down a lot of the drones, and the Kansas keeps reviving them. So what they do is they wait till the Kansas is wide open, and they completely blow it away with Baird, Alex, and Annalisa blasting it at the same time. So now the Kansas is gone, there's no revivals, and no way to call more locusts, so everything seems great at first. We see that Dom makes his way to Marcus. Marcus immediately asks about the kid that he tried to save, and Dom has to tell him that, you know, the kid didn't make it. So now they're picking up Marcus, trying to help him. He's heavily injured, and they're simply trying to make their way out. Baird pretty much establishes the fact that they are here to do a rescue mission, search and rescue. They are not going to leave without these kids and these women, that they have to go with them. Kind of basically saying, you know, we didn't do this for nothing. And Baird pretty much gives them the ultimatum saying, either come with us or we fight. Pick. And the women are kind of staring at Baird, and they're kind of like, alright Baird, stop being a jerk, like, you don't have to be rude about it. I think that's like, I believe Jay said something along that lines, like, you don't need to be disrespectful. And then we see that as they're over here arguing and deciding on what's going on, out of nowhere, it's not over. We can see Reavers, and now a corpser has emerged. And this is where the issue ends, and we're going to see what the final part of the Barren series is in next week's video. So definitely hit that like button and subscribe and tell me what you guys think. I'm over here loving these comics. I'm really glad to bring you guys these videos. Tell me what you guys think about today's issue. I thought it was really good. Morely action than anything, but still a great chapter. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see any of my other content, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.